Hello everyone, Father Sausage here, and welcome to the Easter Sunday Mass. I hope you are all doing well. Today we will be reading out the New Testament from the Bible, starting from the book in which Jesus was crucified. I will be joined by my assistant, Chris, who is a very devoted Christian, and I hope you the best of time today. And remember to pray to God, fear Him, fear death, fear everything, because you never know when you'll be struck by lightning or die in a very, very strange way. Now, I apologize, time to proceed with the readings. And please join along if you also own a copy of the New Testament and you have it with you at this very moment in time, because the extra oomph, not one of my followers, as in the extra the extra whoosh would really help us out. So please do join in if you feel it's necessary. It's time to proceed with the readings. Jesus is anointed. He keeps the Passover and institutes the sacrament. He suffers in Gethsemane, is betrayed by Judas, and is taken before Cappius. Peter denies that he knows Jesus. And it came to pass, when Jesus had finished all these sayings he said unto his disciples,
You know that after 2 days is the feast of the Passover, and the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified.
Then assembled together the chief priests and the scribes and the elders of the people unto the palace of the high priest, who was called Caiaphas.
And consulted that they might take Jesus by subtlety and kill him.
But they said not unto the feast day, lest there be an uproar among the people.
Now when Jesus was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper,
there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it unto his head as he sat at meat.
But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, To what purpose is this waste?
For this anointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor.
When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, Why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me.
For ye have the work always with you, but me ye have not always.
For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial.
Verily I say it unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also be that this woman had done, be told for a memorial of her.
Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests,
and said unto them, What will ye give me, and I'll deliver him unto you? And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver.
And from that time he sought opportunity to betray him.
Now that the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus, saying unto him, Where wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover?
And he said, Go into the city to such a man, and say unto him, The Master saith, My time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at thy house with my disciples.
And the disciples did as Jesus had appointed them, and they made ready the Passover.
Now when the even was come, he sat down with the 12.
And as they did eat, he said, Verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me.
And they were exceeding sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, Lord, is it I?
And he answered and said, He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray him. Me.
The Son of Man goeth, as it is written of him. But woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It had been good for that man if he had not been born.
Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? He said unto him, Thou hast said.
And as they were eating, Jesus took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, Take, eat, this is my body.
Then he took the cup and gave thanks, and he gave it to him, saying, Drink ye all of it.
For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for the remission of sins.
But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine, until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom.
And when they had sung an
Him.
hymn, they went out into the Mount of Olives.
And then said Jesus unto them, All ye shall be offended because of me this night, for it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock shall be scattered abroad.
But after I am risen again, I will go before you into Galilee.
Peter answered and said unto him, Although all men shall be offended because of thee, yet I will never be offended.
Jesus said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, that this night, before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me twice.
Peter said unto him, Though I should die with thee, yet I will not deny thee. Likewise also said all the disciples.
Then cometh Jesus with them unto a place called Gethsemane, and saith unto the disciples, Sit ye here, while I go and pray yonder.
And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy.
Then saith he unto them, My soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Hurry ye here, and watch with me.
And he went a little further, and fell on his face, and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt.
And he cometh unto the disciples, and findeth them asleep, and saith unto Peter, What? Could ye not watch with me 1 hour?
Watch and pray, that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
He went away again the second time, and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done.
And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy.
And he left them, and went away again, and prayed the third time, saying the same words.
Then cometh he to his disciples, and said unto him, Sleep on now, and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man betrayed into the hands of sinners.
Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that doth betray me.
And while he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12, came, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves, from the chief priests and elders of the people.
Now he that betrayed him gave them a sign, saying, Whomsoever I shall kiss, that same is he, hold him fast.
And forthwith he came to Jesus and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him.
This is a real fanfic. And Jesus said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they, and laid hands on Jesus, and took him.
And behold, one of them which were with Jesus stretched out his hand, and drew out his sword, and struck a servant of the high priest, and smote off his ear.
Then said Jesus unto him, Put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword.
Think it thou that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels.
But how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled, that thus it must be?
In that same hour said Jesus to the multitudes, Are ye come out as the thief with swords and staves just to take me? I sat daily with you teaching in the temple, but ye laid no hold on me.
But all this was done, that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled. Then all the disciples forsook him and fled.
And they that had laid hold on Jesus led him away to Caiaphas the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled.
But Peter followed them afar off unto the high priest's palace, and went in, and sat with the servants to see the end.
Now the chief priests and elders and all the council sought false witness against Jesus to put him to death.
But found none. Yeah, though many false witnesses came, yet found they none. At the last came 2 false witnesses,
And said, This fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and to build it in 3 days.
and the high priest arose and said unto him, Answerest thou nothing? What is it which these witness against thee?
But Jesus held his peace, and the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure thee by the living God, that thou shalt tell us whether thou be the Christ, the Son of God.
Jesus saith unto him, Thou hast said, nevertheless I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power, and coming in the clouds of heaven.
Then the high priest rent his clothes, saying, He hath spoken blasphemy. What further need have we of witness? Behold, now ye have heard his blasphemy.
What think ye? They answered and said, He is guilty of death.
Then they did spit in his face and buffeted him, and others smote him with the palms of their hands,
saying, Prophesy unto us, thou Christ, who is he that smote thee?
Now Peter sat without in the palace, and a damsel came unto him, saying, Thou also wast with the Jesus of Galilee.
But he denied before them all, saying, I know not what thou sayest.
And when he was gone out into the porch, another maid saw him, and said unto him that he was there, This fellow was also with Jesus of Nazareth.
And again he denied with an oath, I do not know the man.
And after a while came unto him that they that stood by, and said to Peter, Surely thou also art one of them, for thy speech bewrayeth thee.
Then began he to curse and to swear, saying, I know not the man, and immediately the cock crew.
And Peter reminded the word of Jesus, who said unto him, Before the crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. And he went out and wept bitterly.
Dude, it's the Bible, read it.
Okay, read the first part of chapter 7.
Chapter 27. Jesus is accused and condemned before Pilate. Barabbas is released. Jesus is mocked, crucified, and buried in the tomb of Joseph and Arithmetic. When the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Jesus to put him to death.
And when they had bound him, they led him away, and delivered him to Pontius Pilate the governor.
Then Judas, who had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself, and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders,
saying, I have sinned in that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, What is that to us? See thou to that.
And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple, and departed, and went, and hanged himself.
And the chief priest took the silver pieces and said, It is not lawful for to put them in the treasury, because it is the price of blood.
And they took counsel, and brought with them the potter's field to bury strangers in.
Wherefore that field was called the field of blood until this day.
Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremy the prophet, saying, And they took the 30 pieces of silver, the price of a bells valued, whom they of the children of Israel did value,
and gave them for the potter's field as the Lord appointed me.
And Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, saying, Art thou the king of the Jews? And Jesus said unto him, Thou sayest.
And when he was accused of the chief priests and elders, he answered, Nothing.
Then said Pilate unto him, Hearest thou not how many things they witness against thee?
And he answered him to never a word, insomuch that the governor marveled greatly.
Now at that feast the governor was wont to release unto the people a prisoner, whom they would.
And they then had a notable prisoner, called Barabbas.
Therefore when they gathered together, Pilate said unto them, Whom will ye that I release unto you, Barabbas or Jesus, which is called Christ?
For he knew that envy they had delivered him.
When he was set down on the judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, Have thou nothing to do with that just man? For I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him.
But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask Barabbas and destroy Jesus.
The governor answered and said unto him, What of the twain will ye that I release unto you? They said, Barabbas.
Pilate saith unto them, What shall I do then with Jesus which is called Christ? They all say unto him, Let him be crucified.
And the governor said, Why, what evil hath he done? But they cried out the more, saying, Let him be crucified.
When Pilate saw that he could prevail nothing, but that rather a tumult was made, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this person. See ye to it.
Then answered all the people and said, His blood will be on us and on our children.
Then released he Barabbas unto him, and when he had scourged Jesus, he delivered him to be crucified.
Then the soldiers of the governor took Jesus into the common hall, and gathered unto him the whole band of soldiers.
And they stripped him, and put on him a scarlet robe.
And when they had plaited a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head, and a reed in his right hand. And they bowed the knee before him, and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews!
And they spit upon him, and took the reed and smote him on the head.
And after that they had mocked him, they took the robe off from him, and put his own raiment on him, and led him away to crucify him.
As they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross.
And when they were coming unto a place called Gallagher, that is to say, a place that was called,
they gave him vinegar to drink mingled with gall, and when he had drink thereof, he would not drink. Stop.
And they crucified him, and parted his garments, casting lots, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet. They parted my garments among them, and upon my vesture did they cast lots.
And sitting down they watched him there.
And set up over his head his accusation within, This is Jesus, the King of the Jews!
And then there were two thieves crucified with him, one on the right hand, another on the left.
And that they passed by reviled him, wagging his head.
And saying, Thou that destroyest the temple and buildest in 3 days, save thyself. If thou be the Son of God, come down from the cross.
Likewise also the chief priests mocking him, with the scribes and elders, said,
He saved others, himself he cannot save. If he be the King of Israel, let him down now come down from the cross, and we will believe him.
He trusted in God, let him deliver him now, if he will have him. For he said, I am the Son of God.
The thieves also, which were crucified with him, cast the same in his teeth.
Now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land unto the 9th hour.
And about the 9th hour Jesus cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, and that is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?
Some of them that stood there, when they heard that, said, This man called for Elias.
And straightway one of them ran and took a sponge and filled it with vinegar and put on a reed, and gave him to drink.
The rest said, Let be, let us see whether Elias will come to save him.
Jesus, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded by the ghost.
And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent.
And the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose,
and came out of the grave after his resurrection, and went into the holy city, and appeared unto many.
Now when the centurion, when they were with him, watching Jesus, saw the earthquake, and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, Truly this is the Son of God.
And many women were there beholding afar off, which followed Jesus from Galilee, ministering unto him.
Among which was Mary Magdalene, and Mary the mother of James, and Joseph, and the mother of Zebedee's children.
When the even was come, there came a rich man of arithmetic, named Joseph, who also himself was Jesus' disciple.
He went to Pilate and begged the body of Jesus. Then Pilate commanded the body to be delivered.
And when Joseph had taken the body, he wrapped it in a clean linen cloth,
and laid it in his own new tomb which he had hewn out of the rock. He rolled a great stone to the door of the sepulchre and departed. And there was Mary Magdalene and the other Mary.
That's me!
Sorry.
And there was Mary Magdalene and the other Mary sitting over the sculpture.
Now the next day that followed the day of the preparation, the chief priests and the Pharisees came together unto Pilate,
saying, Sir, remember that the deceiver said, while he was yet alive, After 3 days I will rise again.
Command therefore that the sepulchre be made until the third day, lest his disciples come by night, steal him away, and say unto the people, He has risen from the dead. So the last error shall be worse than the first.
Pilate said unto them, Ye have a watch, go your way, make it as sure as ye can.
So they went and made a sepulchre sure, a seal in the stone, and sent a watch.
Alright everyone, thank you for listening to your daily Bible reading. Make sure to come back tomorrow for more, and make sure to like and subscribe.
Amen.
Can't stop me.